everyone, what's up? I am CTB Emotionless. You can call me Savage, and welcome to first episode of Skating for Dummies. Yes, this is a new series which I wanted to do because I like skating, and I just thought might as well make some type of content on here every once in a while, something new and fresh from all the gaming and blah 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 blah. So we're definitely going to get into it. We're going to start with the very basics of everything. Yep, so season 1 is going to be very basic, kind of just chill with everything, and things are going to get more and more difficult as time gets on. The good news is, as things do become more difficult, I'll actually be learning a little bit more of how to do some of these things when it comes to one of the harder difficulties of skating. So I'm excited to get on with this journey, and I hope you guys are ready to do this. So of course, that being said, for the first part of this video, or not first part of the video, but more of the first episode, is going to be about the parts of a skateboard, because you need to know exactly what every part is in a skateboard. So this right here is my skateboard right here. It's an Almost Deck, my favorite brand, of course. Just saying, it doesn't really matter too much on the brand of skateboard. Most skateboard brands are actually pretty good, so you don't have to worry too much about how much you're spending, which deck to get. Just get a deck you think your feet will feel most comfortable with, and that's really it. Now when it comes to the size of the board, it entirely also depends on you. So it can either be 8.5 is the size I'm riding. I know mine's a fatty, but then again, I don't do a lot of street skating, and when I do street skating, it's typically less easier for me to land my feet on it because it's so fat. So that's just me by any means. For other people, some people prefer to have smaller boards because the flicking is way easier. So anyway, moving on, let's get to these parts. So of course, being said, the first part right here, this is known as the deck. The deck is the piece of wood that you're going to be standing on. So very vital, important piece, obviously. And well, nothing much I can say about that other than what I said earlier. When it comes to the size, depends entirely up to you. If you're going to be riding in bowls primarily, I suggest getting a bigger size. Makes it a lot easier for surface coverage on your feet and such as that. Now moving on, we have these nice steel spots right here. These are known as, these trucks in particular, Independence, and I just said the name of these parts. It's the trucks. Now the purpose of the trucks in general are for to hold onto your wheels onto the board. So basically it's connected by these little screws right here, and the whole purpose of these right here is just to hold the wheels and bearings and such as that. And you can do neat little things such as carving and grinding because of these things. Now depending how loose or tight you make these things depends how much you're able to turn or how wide your turn will be. The looser the trucks are, the easier and shorter your turns will be, and the tighter they are, the more stiff they will be, and they're going to be really wide turns. Now you might be thinking, okay, I might as well have them really loose, but typically people who do have them tighter, it's just because you will have better balance when it comes to riding a skateboard technically. But I do recommend that when you have a skateboard, I recommend if you're new to skateboarding, have them kind of tight, and then as you get better and better, start to loosen them more and more. Whenever I get a new set of trucks and I kind of want to get used to the board, what I typically do is I kind of ride them a little bit tighter than usual, and then I slowly rotate it as I get more and more comfortable with the board. I used to ride really tight apparently, which I didn't know because turns were easy for me, but other people said otherwise, so whatever. Moving on, we have, of course, the wheels. Yep, you need these to move. How else are you going to move around if you don't have the wheels? Duh. So the whole purpose of the wheels is exactly what you think, just to be able to roll. Now there's something vitally important inside these wheels. Right inside of these wheels we have bearings. Now, the thing about bearings is they do, of course, have some form of importance of regards to how fast your wheels will be able to spin. But I can't remember what they're called, because there's a specific number that each bearings will have. But I'm gonna say right now, they're not very important when it comes to skateboarding, due to the fact that as human beings, we're not gonna even really notice the difference in the first place. The most you'll ever have to question is about the endurability of each bearing. Like, oh, some may last longer than others due to the fact of made of so and so, whatever. I had a set of bearings of reds that lasted 2 to 3 years, and they're now completely garbage, but it took that long for them to be bad. And actually, it wasn't all of them being bad. It was only like 1 or 2 that was garbage. So, you know, I replaced them obviously on my other board, and now they're good as new because they are new. And whatever, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Moving on to, of course, the other side of the board, we have the grip tape. Yep, this sandpapery kind of thing right here is called grip tape. So the whole purpose of the grip tape in general is so while you're skateboarding, your feet aren't sliding all over the place. You're able to stay planted on the board without your feet accidentally jerking right over. Imagine you're skating, you know, on the sidewalk and you hit a crack and you have no grip tape. Your feet will slide a little bit forward or a lot forward because there's no grip. But because you have grip, your feet now just stay where it is. So I'm trying to move I'm pushing down as hard as I can on my board and trying to move it up, and it's actually pretty hard. So grip tape is very viable and very important. Now, if I were to make any recommendations when it comes to grip, I do not recommend Mob grip tape. Now, Mob used to be the go-to grip tape growing up, but then I realized one thing. They're way too strong. Grip on that thing is way too strong for a skateboarder. Like, I would try to do a flip trick and it would be damn near impossible because it'd be so strong that when I try to do a flip trick, it just literally would shoot out and just be a mess. And also it would like sand down my thumb. So yeah, that completely blew. So let's move on. Up next, we have these little screws I was referring to earlier. Yep, these little things. You know, I have these ones different color just to help me figure out where the front is, even though I have a graphic of a grip tape to tell me. But these right here are called bolts. Now, the purpose of the bolts are to literally hold the trucks onto the board. Yep, that's really it. And a cool little advice I can give about the bolts is you can look at the bolts as a way of kind of doing a cheat sheet of where your feet need to be, which is pretty interesting. Of course, I will get way more into that later as the episodes come along, but I kind of use these as a placement of, okay, where do my feet need to go? Of course, when it comes to the tail, it's a little bit different, which I'll explain much later in some other episodes. Excuse me, let me slow down. But as time goes on, you'll be understanding that these bolts are very viable, of course, to know where your feet go. They pretty much tell you where your feet need to be to have perfect balance. And just like that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, cookies and milk, and join me next time on more skating for dummies. And the next episode is going to be all about the basics. Yep, basically we're going to be going through the most boring parts when it comes to skateboarding or learning how to skateboard, which is of course, getting on a skateboard, pushing, pumping, the difference between a bunch of other stuff, which I will get right into next time I make a video, and hopefully I can get into more of the fun stuff because, these first couple episodes are going to be boring. And anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I don't know why I walked off camera. I still gotta walk to the camera. There's nothing over there for me to walk to, so all right, see ya.